We go from Parliament and Cape Town to the Eastern Cape and Matatiele, where the residents in the community want police to expedite their probe into the alleged rape of a 7-year-old girl. The incident reportedly occurring in October of last year. Still no arrests made. And yesterday, people from various parts of the country led marches demanding justice for the little girl. Malungelo, Booi, is live for us now from the Eastern Cape. Malungelo, again, we've seen an outpouring of support for little Kwekwe and calls for justice to be served and arrests to be made. What's the latest on all of that?
I'll tell you this, Iman, we arrived here at around 9 o'clock. We moved around the town trying to engage people and just to gauge the sentiment in this town as to regarding this particular case. And the sense that you get when you speak to people is that, well, they are disappointed and they are also angry at this incident and of course have so many questions. And as you rightfully indicated, I mean, yesterday we saw many people calling for justice for this little girl, and of course it's a similar sentiment here, people saying that really they want answers, but they also want to know who did this and when will police make an arrest. I want to bring into the conversation police spokesperson Athlenda Mathe. Thank you so much, Brigadier Mathe, for your time this afternoon. One of the things that people in this town have said to us is, when are the police going to make an arrest in this case? When are you making an arrest in this case?
Well, a very good afternoon and thank you for the opportunity. The police don't just effect arrests. We need to conduct a thorough investigation. We need to have overwhelming evidence before us before we can effect any arrest. And I think what is key is that in this particular case, from the beginning, we have been working closely with the NPA that has been guiding the police on how to execute this particular investigation. But as you've rightly indicated, we are all concerned, and as the SAPS, that is why General Fani Masemola tasked the head of the Family Violence, Child Protection, Sexual Investigations Unit head to come to Matatiele to oversee and to bolster the ongoing investigation so that we can have a closure, we can know the truth, and we can get to the bottom of the case so that we can finalize this particular case.
I'm sure, Athlenda, there should be people of interest here, without a doubt. Have you spoken to anyone? And what are you getting?
That forms part and parcel of the investigation. Remember, when there are persons of interest, that is for the police to know. We only make public persons of interest once we have effected an arrest, once the people have been formally charged in court. So that is for police, and once the police have satisfied themselves with the current investigation that is ongoing, and we've met with the NPA and we have the necessary guidance, advice, and we have a comprehensive report, we can then go public on the findings of this particular case.
But I'm sure you are going to tell me that you have already obtained statements from some people.
There is a docket. There is a lot of work that the province has done. And ours, the general coming in, it's just to guide, to ascertain on whether proper processes were followed in terms of investigation, whether the chain of evidence was well preserved up until now. So once she has conducted a thorough investigation into this particular case, once she's met with key role players, then she will then submit her report to the National Commissioner. But what is of importance is the statements from the medical doctors. Yes. We have been able to obtain authorization from the NPA that will ensure that we get the medical reports and the statements from the doctors, because we noted that there are various doctors that had examined the child. So those particular reports from the medical practitioners are very important in this particular case. They will be able to guide us as to how do we move in terms of this particular case. But I can assure you that we have mobilized maximum resources. We've got the full confidence in the capabilities of Major General Lekgele, who's got more than 30 years experience in dealing with such cases.
On the issue of the doctors, were these doctors sanctioned by the by the state or the NPA? Just help us clarify that for me, please.
Well, I cannot give out that type of information at this stage, but that information will be provided once we outline what we have found, and there is a way forward in terms of dealing with this particular case. But we assure the nation that all we want is to see justice prevail in this particular case. We all want the truth. We want to see this case finalized, and that is why we have mobilized all resources, and that is why you see the head of FCS stepping in to work on this particular case. So she is meeting from yesterday the investigating team, analyzing the docket where she has questions. She's looking for answers where there are discrepancies. She goes back and obviously meets with those that we've picked up a few discrepancies. So that forms part and parcel of our investigation. That is just to ensure due diligence is followed in this particular matter.
I've got to ask though, has the police spoken to the mom, and have you seen the child? How's the little girl?
Unfortunately, Malu, the appointment, that particular engagement was set for today with the mother. We are told she has been involved in a single vehicle accident along the way to Matatiele. As a caring employer, we have ensured that she gets the necessary support. So employee health and wellness experts have been dispatched to attend to her. So for now, we will continue with the investigation, other aspects of the investigation, but surely we will have to, at a later stage, once she is ready to talk to our senior investigator, Major General Khele, we will then proceed with that particular interview. But for now, we are continuing with the investigation. We are not rushing this particular investigation because we need to ensure due diligence. So we are requesting the people of South Africa to rally behind the police as we try and get to the bottom of this particular matter. But we must also applaud the thousands of supporters that are lobbying behind this child to say that is the type of energy, the positive energy that we need from South Africans, because in all these marches across the country, there were no incidents of malicious damage to property, there were no incidents of blockading of roads, there was no incidents of unruly behavior, and that is the type of positive energy that we need to fight crime in this country.
Brigadier Mathe, thank you so much for your time. Iman, that's Brigadier Athlenda Mathe. She speaks for the police. One of the most important elements of our conversation is that today they were hoping to speak to the mother of this little girl, and unfortunately, because she was involved in a single vehicle accident, that interview then won't take place today. They're hoping that it will happen very soon. But I suppose, Iman, one of the things, though, that we have been made aware of is that residents also in this town will sometime today hold a prayer, and we've also been told that there is a march that is also expected to take place today. All of those really rallying behind this little girl and her family, part really of putting pressure to authorities to make sure that they ultimately crack this case.